All right, back in the basement again for a really quick video today because I got another pair of Inzer Ergo Pros. You guys, I know I've had a pair for a while. I have a size small, which is 2 sizes smaller than is suggested because I sized down like an idiot, but I still made it work. And I recently picked up a pair of large Iron Rebels performance knee sleeves in the right size. And I got to thinking that it's not really a fair comparison unless I get a true to size Inzer, and that's what I did. So I have a small here and a large here, so 2 sizes bigger. These things are not cheap, my friend. So I paid $174 for these new pair of Inzers, which was a little bit more expensive than if you buy from Inzer Direct because I did not do that. I bought these off of Amazon from Power Gear or something. They're like an Inzer distributor. It ended up being like $12 more buying it through Amazon, which actually I don't mind paying because number one, I got these within 4 days of ordering, which is really, really quick. And also Amazon just has much better return policies if I ever wanted to Karen about anything, which I typically don't. But $12 for 4 days is worth the difference to me compared to what Inzer might charge at $162. And who knows, because their shipping and tracking and all that are terrible from my previous experiences with them. So no surprises here. The main difference between the small and large is that the large is bigger. But I had a lot of people comment on my old videos for the Inzer saying you need to fit true to size, it makes things better, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to give them a fair comparison. So I just use these for the first time today. And again, like I've been doing with all these knee sleeve videos, give you my initial feedback on them. And they are extremely easier to get on and off compared to the older version. So the older version, getting them off took somewhere between like 2 and 3 minutes. The new ones probably took about 10 seconds max. My right leg is definitely bigger than my left leg because my right leg always gives me trouble. But that being said, no problems despite using them for squatting today. Now, I didn't go overly heavy because again, I'm in my normal programming for meet prep. If you're following along in that series, awesome. But basically worked up to some tempo squats with 6 reps per set on the Rogue CB4 with these. So it's a good test in my opinion because we still did 360 pounds, which is a decent amount of weight at least to feel it. And the biggest things with these being bigger that I noticed besides getting them on and off, which again is a no-brainer, is the fact that in the initial video I talked about how when your knee is bent, for me at least, based off my leg shape, there was a slight gap in the front of the knee sleeve by my shin. That is extremely exaggerated now with these bigger sleeves. The gap is huge. I'm talking about multiple fingers up in there, baby. And that causes some problems that I found because I found that these sleeves being bigger and that bigger gap, while the tight is still relatively taut, despite being bigger because my quads are a little bit bigger, obviously, I find that these sleeves are sliding down a little bit more just in limited use. So I really feel like I wanted to pull them up after almost every single set. And although I'm only really pulling them up like an inch or so from where I initially set them, that does make a big difference for me because again, the way these sleeves are shaped with that contour in the back. So that's a little bit of a negative. You also see this in the whole of a squat. It feels kind of off-putting if these are in place, in my opinion, where the knee is right in the center of the sleeve. In the bottom of a hole, there is that gap and it doesn't feel like I have much support down here. Definitely feel it in my knee, in the back of my knee and in my quads, but it just doesn't really feel right to me. So even though these are easier to get on and off, is the trade-off worth potentially losing a little bit of that, tightness in the hole, so to say? Now, speaking of that, because these are bigger and there's more material, also what's exaggerated on these is how I feel like these are crunchy for me in the back of my leg, meaning that these sleeves are so stiff and tough, they're not really stretchy. And because they were a bigger sleeve, not like the traditional Iron Rebel ones that I've shown you before, where I feel like those are really glued to all aspects of my leg, because there's more material, there's more gapping. In the bottom of the hole, I feel like there's a lot of excess material, which may inhibit some of my actual squat depth as well. So yes, these are tight, but I feel like the material just tends to like fold in on top of each other. And that's kind of creates a barrier for me from going any deeper in my squat. And I need all the depth that I can get, which you can probably tell from some of these videos. So I'm not really sold on going true to size here. What I wonder, which is unfortunate for me, is if something in between. So the smalls were basically 2 sizes down. This was the right size being a large. Maybe a medium would be a good in between. To be honest, what I'll probably do is continue wearing both of these for the next couple of weeks just to test to see which one I like better, get rid of the one that I don't like, and or make another decision. The downside, like I said, are these things are so expensive that it doesn't make sense for a lot of people to buy them. And in reality, I still don't find these really comfortable to wear for an overall session Whereas with something with my Stoics, which I've competed in, I've squatted, top squats of 600 pounds in before, although they might not be truly as supportive, I still find I can get max weight with them, and they're comfortable enough for me to wear for an entire training session without feeling like my legs are gonna pop off, which is something to consider when buying these sleeves. So the saga continues. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. Tune in next time for more ramblings on knee sleeves and other things, equipment involved. In the meantime, if you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section below. But as always, thanks for watching and stay big.